From the K-Rock Center here in Kingston, we welcome you to our Sunday afternoon. It's the 32nd edition of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. You see the 4 sheets of ice. The team's getting ready to step on, and Jennifer Jones will try and make it 3 straight as she plays Stacey Devereaux, Newfoundland Labrador. A tough start for Prince Edward Island, Suzanne Birch. She goes against the defending champions and Heather Nedowin. Jill Shumay, Saskatchewan, will play New Brunswick. And Ontario, Northwest Territories, Yukon as our featured game. Kathy Gauthier with us, and I know this Jill Shumay team from Maidstone, they've caught a lot of people's eye.
Well, they certainly have. Tuno is a great place to be. I talked to Gene Friesen, their coach, before the game, and he said when you look at the Scotties with the rookie team, it's a bit like climbing a mountain, and so they are taking it in 3-game slots. If they can get through this first 3 undefeated, they're already ahead of the schedule, and that's a good sign for Saskatchewan.
And they were a winner, of course, over Stephanie Lawton in the Saskatchewan final. Our feature is Ontario, Northwest Territories, Yukon. Time to meet the teams now. It's brought to you by Ford, a proud partner of the Canadian Curling Association for 19 years.
Hi, I'm Rachel Homan, skip of Team Ontario. At lead, Lisa Weevil. Second, Alison Krevizak. Third, Emma Miskew. And we curl at the Ottawa Curling Club in Ottawa, Ontario.
Hi, I'm Carrie Galusha, skip of Team Northwest Territories. Our lead is Wendy Miller, second Megan Cormier, third Sharon Cormier, and we curl at the Yellowknife Curling Center.
Well, you can see that Carrie Galusha has gone out, so no need to tell you who's throwing first. You know that it's the team from Yellowknife. They will play the Yellowstones. Ontario won the draw to the button. They will have the last rock playing the Red Rocks here in the first. And to get us underway, here is their lead from the Yellowknife Curling Club, Wendy Miller.
Well, it's not going to be easy for this Territories team. As we mentioned, Rachel Homan is on a wonderful winning streak, but all you can do, similar to what Kathy was talking about with the rookie Saskatchewan team, this Territories team just has to think 1 rock at a time, 1 end at a time, and set your goals and make sure you really focus on every shot.
We've seen them knock off Team Canada a couple times, and you can't take anybody lightly. And yes, on paper, the Homan team is a huge favorite here. They're won both their games by roughly 5.5 points, so there's no reason why they can't do that again today. But you start thinking you can do it, that could be the first sign of weakness. And I think that 2 years ago you might have seen Rachel maybe not take a game like this quite as seriously, but they're more mature. Earl Morris back, which I think is fantastic, and they are going to be ready for this game.
Whoa, I don't know. Really light. Leave it high. Yep, go now. Whoa. Good. Nice throw.
Rachel's also got some very interesting strategy, and we will talk a lot about strategy, of course, as this game proceeds, but they are very comfortable in being both defensive-minded, because you talked to me earlier about how well they hit, but also an aggressive team, because you've just mentioned how many points they secured in their first 2 games this year. So they're a very interesting team, a little hard to predict at times, but comfortable in both sides of the game.
That's a great point. They're not predictable, and that's a huge advantage just in itself. You know what you're going to get out of the Nova Scotia team this year. You know what you're going to get out of Manitoba, for that matter. They're going to be very aggressive. Rachel's a little bit of both.
So what do you think the game plan may be for these two?
I think for Ontario, they have a wonderful advantage of the front end. They are curling so well. So pressure the other team with and without hammer with those shots. And for the Territories, well, Rachel Homan can steal a ton of points. You have to leave yourself room with the hammer to get in there and score at least your 1.
The game plan brought to you by World Financial Group, helping families have better financial futures.
Maggie? Pretty light. They're pretty. Can pick it. Okay.
Tried for the double there. It over-curled on that inside-out spot.
9.
We've seen that before. It's a pretty swingy spot, but Rachel called it perfectly for the audible and rolls it right up against that yellow one. It's going to be incredibly difficult to hit and stay without losing that back one.
Good 9. Solid 9. Whoa. Yep. Really hard, you guys. Really hard. Good.
We'll get the top one, leave her still sitting 1 without.
Okay.
Team from the Yellowknife Curling Club. Could you have been, I know she hasn't got the hammer, but could you have been aggressive and gone around those two?
Yeah, you could.
Just trying to force here, or is it too early?
Yeah, you could have, but the fact that the Ontario Rock's in the rings, Ontario is hammer, that's always scary, Vic, because that point can go on the board. So I like what Northwest Territories is doing here. The shorter this game becomes, the better chance they have.
Straight up there. No. Real straight there. Yeah. Doesn't come back. Nice throws.
This ice is quite straight when you have to wait. That was a very nice throw by the Territories to pick the rock out on their last throw. And you can see from the last one rolling out by Ontario, it is a tricky little spot. And we've noticed that over the first day of playing again this morning. Some teams are getting caught about how much ice to take, moving from draw, which is very predictable, great ice to play on, but then really not sure about how much to cut it down for tap, and of course skinny ice for hit.
Starting to go now. Going now. Go. Hard, girls. Hard, hard, hard. Go, 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 go. A little stickier over here. Good throw, Meg. 14-6. What weight do you want? Okay.
Here's the number 14-6. It's there are going to be a few spots where they didn't warm up in practice. They're going to be that little bit slower. That we'll see what happens to that 14-6 number. It could get close to 15 or maybe a little higher. That's a hog line to hog line time, split time.
Okay, whoa, 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 whoa. That went really. Yeah.
Rachel said that one really went. That we've been lucky enough to be on this sheet 3 times. So you and I think, have finally figured it out because we've had 3 tries at it. And that spot is quite swingy, isn't it?
Yeah, and the opposite is there are some very straight spots with the other turn. So it's something you have to really think about. Which turn do I want to use? Even in open hit, you're wanting to be thinking about which is the better turn and how much ice to take. Mentioned that Rachel Homan won the Ford Hot Shots. Well, it was Sharon Cormier who came second, and last year was Carrie Galusha. So it's the kind of team from the Territories that is always close to making the big shots, wonderful shots. And as I said, just lacking the consistency doing it game after game. But she was terrific in the Ford Hot Shots this year.
Are you straight out there, are you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Control. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Wait, safe.
Emma Miscue and Rachel, part of that Canadian junior and championship team, and then they went on to win a silver medal at the Worlds, losing to Anna Hasselborg.
That is one thing we forget. They went directly from winning a Canadian Juniors to making a Scotties, and that leap is so difficult. They come from a very difficult province in Ontario with obviously large numbers. It's a big province, and so yeah, they did a wonderful job in making that transition, and just the change we've seen over the last couple of years with their experience at Scotties and Bonspiels and other playdowns, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's one of those sports, I think it takes a long time to be a good skip, and when you've got 4 young players, it takes that much longer, and like you said, the transition's a lot bigger than I think Rachel thought it would be, but they stuck together and they've just been incredible. I believe they've lost 1 game in the last 3 Ontario championships, which is something like 32-1.
Well, they went undefeated this year, and it was a win over Kathy Auld in the final.
They were undefeated last year, Vic, and the 2 upcoming home lost the final game. It's only 1 they lost. Incredible amount of wins this team's put together in the last 2 or 3 years.
Nice throw. Nice throw, Em. Nice throw, Em.
Just dominating, absolutely. Rachel Homan out of the Ottawa Curling Club, undefeated in round robin, winning the 1-2 and then beating Auld again in the final. The other thing that
I'm throwing rock 3.
I think it was 24 games actually in total that she came in undefeated. And the other thing, and we mentioned leading money winner, $54,000. You talked about her being able to steal she rarely gives up steals as well.
No, she's very effective. She describes herself as fearless, and it's funny. That's how I actually described her before I heard her even say it herself. It's because she doesn't mind playing that aggressive style. She knows she's got the skill and the hitting ability to get out of a lot of trouble. So she does put rocks in play even without hammer. She does put up guard. She does take chances, but she's very good at getting out of trouble herself.
Good sweep, girls.
That's good. No, I meant bring my broom right onto the ice, so I'm not going back there to get it.
You'll notice on both turns with Rachel, she takes just about 0 ice. You'd think you'd have to throw it as hard as you could to keep this on line, but she's got a little bit of an in-out motion, huge rotation, and that's the greatest way to throw a hit on arena ice, because any outward motion, it'll just track right down there. And she knows it. She throws it the same way every time. A big rotation here. And it'll just float out there, maybe curl a half an inch or so. Very, very accurate hitter.
Rachel has been a part of the Relève program in Canada, which means the next generation, and she's gone to a lot of training camps already with her own coaching in Ontario. Of course, she was a very skilled athlete. A lot of these camps do teach that set, that straightening action, which makes the rock go that much straighter.
For the team from the Yellowknife Curling Club, well, it was a different kind of play down for them. There were no teams entered from the Yukon, so it was just a 4-team round robin, and there was the final over Ashley Green. You can cite any number of reasons for no teams coming out of the Yukon, and Whitehorse in particular. The lack of participants, the travel expense. There used to be at one time a direct flight from Whitehorse to Yellowknife and back and forth. But now there isn't. So if you want to go to one, you have to go south. So you have to fly, and there's the mistake. The inconsistency that Linda talked about. So you have to go south, say, from Whitehorse to an Edmonton and then fly back up. And so it's really costly. And that is costly too.
You know your weight. Just a hair more.
Those are hard ones because Rachel didn't do anything to try and get the deuce. She just played it very wide open, played a split on the first guard that was played, knowing that she would have an open shot with her last, but the open shot now becomes a draw for 2.
So the final stone, a little biter around the edge of the 12, and this is an open draw for 2.
Take a look. It's running true.
Rachel Homan trying to win
It's curling now.
the first Ontario Canadian Women's Championship since Marilyn Bodo in 1996. And Marilyn is here this weekend. There's the draw for 2. So make a mistake, and you're punished for it. Ontario puts 2 on the board. The old railway station on the waterfront here in Kingston. It is Sandra Schmerler Day at the Scotties. The foundation, in her memory, was 13 years ago that she passed away, and her foundation supporting babies in crisis and neonatal centers across the country. We hope that you will call. Many of you have, and we say thank you, but we'd like more of you to do so, please, as we welcome you back to the K-Rock Center on this Sunday afternoon. Draw 4. Mistake. Wide open miss by the Northwest Territories at Kerry Galusha, and Ontario draws to pick up 2. And here in the second, it will be the team from Yellowknife that does have the last rock playing the Yellowstones.
A little less there. Yeah, the curl, guys. Whoa, whoa, we're good. Weight's real close. Line's great. It's over curling a little bit.
So this is the difficult part for the Territories. They were hoping to keep it fairly open to start and slowly get into this game, but already gave up a deuce. So first stone in, corner guard up. Here's the center guard.
It's good, Lise. I meant stop curling.
Right on top, Wendy. Right to or top 12. Okay.
Kathy, let's start our updates for the afternoon with Team Canada trying to win 3 in a row as they play PEI.
Well, and a chance to get off to a good start, Vic. Suzanne Burt tried a really sharp double on her first one, just missed it across the top, and that's created the opportunity for the deuce here. Needs to draw paint.
The defending champions out of the Saville Sports Center in Edmonton. And this is an open, there's the other point, against PEI and Suzanne Burt from the Charlottetown Curling Complex, dropping their first 2.
Yeah, good sweep. Nice throws. A double there. I think this one moves a hair, Allie. You think? They curl a bit towards the board.
I'll try the real thin double here. You're going to make sure the first one.
Never, never. Girl.
Let's go again, Kathy, over to sheet C now. And an impressive team, this Saskatchewan side from Maidstone, but playing New Brunswick, and the former Canadian junior champion, Andrea Crawford from Oromocto.
Well, very similar to the sheet that we just shown. Jill tried a double, missed it on a thin side, so was forced to hit and stick on her second one. This allows a hit and stick by Andrea for the 2 in the opening end.
Saskatchewan and Jill Schumann will have the hammer as they play in the second.
Shot, Megan.
Nice throw, Megan.
Nice to get it off the button.
Couple yellow rocks that are usable too. Good start here to the end number 2.
It's interesting. We are now seeing in the first 2 ends of this game, I know it's early, Rachel Homan is willing to play it a little more open, though. She had a rock in a pretty good spot and guards out in front and decided to peel guards instead of continuing to apply pressure by putting more guards or draws into play. So it looks like Rachel definitely has a plan here. Now at this stage, she's going to play the draw around and go back to applying a little pressure that way.
Yeah, and that's the change, I think, from a couple of years ago. Just a little more maturity on what could go wrong if we aren't perfect. And a lot of times they were perfect, so they'd get away with it. But at this level, you can make a bit of a mistake, you're going to pay for it. So I like that little bit more conservative, especially without hammer, especially when you look at the scoreboard, 2-0.
One other game on the ice on this Sunday afternoon, Newfoundland and Labrador. That's Stacey Devereaux from the Ballyhaley against Manitoba. Jennifer Jones. Jones with last rock blanked. So we'll take that hammer to 2.
Yep. You got it, Elaine. I'm really tired. What do you have? 7, 8. Okay, well then. Just for line. Just for line.
Line's tight.
It's all there. Line.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Hard. Whoa.
Whoa.
Yep. Whoa. Sit down.
Well, just like we talked about yesterday with some teams, Carrie needed more specific data on the speed of that rock. They were trying to judge whether to bring it by or tick that guard. You can be precise as you're brushing. It was thrown too heavy, but can you do anything with it? Maybe tick that guard out in front.
I like right
so those are the decisions you can make as a skip, but Carrie didn't really get any facts coming down the ice.
I thought if we pay for it, we can get under. I guess. Yeah. I want to go here.
Just because if we put it there, the run is like
That's exactly back what you said. If you don't play any games, it's tough to be that razor sharp.
Yeah.
You can't do that against the Rachel Homan. I think they're going to tap this. I thought they might just try to come right around it. Chances are if you tap this, the thrown rock will be open, and then there will be a double.
Keep close. Round. Yep. Line's good. Yes. You have to go. Gotta go to get by. Hard. Just top 8. Hard. Whoa. Hard, hard, hard. Keep going. Whoa.
We're going to set up that double, I think.
Okay, sorry.
Keep an eye on Emma's. The only shot that really stands out is Emma's out-turn draw. She's only 42% so far. Now, mind you, she's thrown 6 of them in the 2 games she's played, so that's not a big survey.
Sweet.
That was a beauty, really. They brushed it a little sooner. They could have snuck it right by there.
And as you pointed out, part of it was the choice of the skip to come by. That's a difficult shot to make, especially second end, not positive about the curl. Not a lot of room to do the shot.
we should try it one more time. Okay. It's probably run 15.5 down here.
Here's an aggressive call. The fact that Emma ticked and rolled open, it's a raisable red rock, so it's going to be dangerous where they stick this in-turn draw.
It's pretty good.
Mine's good. It's really good. 7, 6, 7. Up. You've got room. Is it heavy?
Yes, for line.
Where are we?
7, 8.
7, 8. Line's getting tighter. Yep.
It's coming down hard.
Yes. Hard line.
Go, go, go.
Roll it off.
And a little rub, and they'll roll it off on the stone from Sharon Cormier.
I don't know. That wasn't a 7, I don't
A
think.
change this year for this Ontario team is actually the return of Coach Earl Morris.
A little bit closer together.
Brian Mudrick.
Sure.
Vic, thank you very much. You know what? 2 years ago, it was Rachel Homan's first ever Scotties. She was 21 years of age, and she did fantastic, 8-3. And amazingly, her and her team have gotten even better. And a big reason why is getting her former coach back. It was actually Emma who gave Earl a call and said, listen, we want you back as our coach. He said specifically, I'll do that on one condition. I want to meet with each and every girl separately and have lunch. And he asked them each individually, what are your goals? What are your ambitions with this team? And he obviously liked what he heard. And he said two things have changed. You'll remember that previous Scotties, he was actually coaching Jennifer Jones. He says, number one, Rachel has become a better unit with her team, and number two, they're actually more defensive if you look at their stats, and obviously it's paid off thus far. And Vic, as I send it back up to you, Mr. Morris says he's also going to Edmonton to cheer on his son at the Briar.
Yeah, John has played a big part of this, of course. He's worked with her. Earl has been working with Rachel since she was 13. He actually, of course, worked with his son and Rachel's brother. I think maybe one of the most telling things that Earl said about returning to this team is they are more mature.
No question.
And they've grown up a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And having Earl back is just massive. It's not that they're going to miss a bunch of shots without him, but it's that intangible. Earl went to 3 Briars himself. Look at the job he did with his son. John's one of the greatest players ever. Great attitude. And, you know, this team was young when they were here 2 years ago, and they're just that much better. And that's all it takes. And they have to be a playoff contender for sure.
You know, Linda, as Ontario continues to sit the 2, getting ready to play now Skip Stones here in the second. For Rachel to come out of the junior ranks, have that immediate success, it happens whether it's a team sport, individual sport. Sometimes the athlete feels it's too easy.
Yeah, a little bit invincible maybe in that youthful stage of her career, but what's great this year is she's certainly listening to all the input. She's got coaching. She's had coaching for years and is doing a lot of things about her game. They work on their brushing. Every aspect of the game, every detail is addressed to make sure they're the best. And for them to continue to improve so quickly, it's very scary for the rest of the field.
Well, it is, because the technique's there too, Lind, isn't it? The square shoulders, the bent throwing arm, it's not too rigid. Look at a little bit of it, so now you can have better feel. Big rotation. All 4 of them learn to throw lots of rotation, which is what you need on arena ice. They just are a really, really good team.
Wait, we're 2 it. Gotta wait. 2 it. It's coming now. It's coming now.
Sharon Cormier made a nice run back, but it's still big trouble as you see Rachel draw in.
Can't be heavy. Full 4.
The other thing that you alluded to with regard to Rachel to sit 3 now.
Can't quite see it all.
Earl was saying that in his previous experience, they only had one speed, and that was 100 miles an hour. Now he has coached them to be a little bit more defensive, pick their spots. At the provincials, they gave up less than 4 points every game, so they know when to actually go and when not to.
Yeah, and actually the Scotties, they were the best at defense. They only gave up 4.6 points per game, and their offense was good too at 7 points per game on average. But I think they're even better. I think it is that timing of when to do it that's even better this year.
And we just noticed in the second end, they walked up and ran off the corner guard. They would not have done that with Shot Rock 2 years ago.
Okay, let's go, Carrie.
Yeah, let's go.
So big trouble for Carey. It's not only closed down, the Yellowstones out in front are overlapped. You can't really use them. And the Redstones in the house are in a position where you can't really come to either one of them and be successful.
No. Just a freeze is okay.
We're by everything right now.
Don't want to tick that red one buried either. This could be bad news here.
Or it won't even come close, actually. It sails to the back edge of the 8.
70.
Yeah, weight wasn't terrible. Just really ran there.
Rachel just blocks this in this direction. It's going to
That's
force
really close,
Kerry to use one of these yellow
It's really
ones.
close.
Probably the top one.
No.
But can you hit enough of that one to make a red double?
Oh, okay, yeah. See it.
Very difficult shot. And that's all she's going to have on that right-hand side, I think.
Yes.
Even if you're top 12.
That's what I was thinking, is putting more pressure on. Okay. Like here.
It's just like she could come and tap for one, so we want to make sure we err on the side of guarding this one.
Oh, okay. I guess. Just gotta go so far out, eh? Like here is good. Yeah. Middle?
Boy, she has accomplished a lot for someone who is still just 23 years of age, second appearance, lost the final of Ontario a year ago, could have made it 3 straight in that World Junior. And this is the one that always seems to turn up more and more, and I like that, is that Canada Games, Linda. You're seeing more and more teams. And we saw that at the juniors, Russ, last week in Fort McMurray. So many players come through that Canada Games.
Oh, for sure. To win at this level, at such a young age, you had to be good a long time ago. You had to be good when you were 14, 15, and it's almost like the rich get richer in our country a little bit. If you get to the Canada Winter Games, you get a little bit of funding, you get some exposure, you get to play in arena ice. The way you go to junior events, the junior events are run exactly like the Scotties or the Brier, and that exposure at that level. Look at the Goose Shoes, look at the Caitlin Laws. They're that one step ahead. That's fantastic.
Good shoot, guys.
If we think to the beginning of this end, I made the point in the game plan that Rachel is very good at stealing in the territories. Kerry Galusha had to be aware of opening up the rings a little bit. Well, she didn't. She left the rock in the 4-foot to start, played the corner, and then, of course, the guard went up, and there was trouble.
Quickly, let's go over to Sheet C, Saskatchewan and New Brunswick. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, Kathy.
Yeah, but there's a red one, Vic. You forgot that one.
Where is that one?
Well,
it's right on the button. I didn't see
stone.
it. Oh, my. Sorry about this. I didn't see it there.
If she can get, Jill can get to the inside, she may be able to get 2 if she's able to drive her own shot stone on the back one.
Oh. No. Now you look. Who's it shot?
Okay.
We have a measure.
They're going to measure, and we'll let you know. Well,
I'm going to take this one
the
away,
red hearts. I didn't see it there.
I didn't know where you were counting.
Sure, Vic.
That was awfully sneaky.
We'll get you some carrots for dinner.
Thank you.
That curled a little more with a little more weight. She would have scored the deuce, and now she might not even get the 1. Could be 3-0 here.
What's the play here? Angle on one of those reds in the 12?
You're going to punch one of the yellows in past the reds. Yeah, I think she's going to try to hit the outside yellow and with draw weight and tap it right to the button.
All right.
So I illustrated that raise really wasn't there. So this is incredibly tough because where do you put the broom?
And what's the weight out in this path that's really not being used?
So facing 2 for sure, maybe 3 here with her last. Down 2-0 as we play in the second. Trying to hold it now, angle it back, tap it up, what a beauty. Oh, and just not enough.
Great try.
Sorry, great throw.
1 and 2. Ontario steals a couple. Kathy Overton Clapham, Canadian world champion. Marilyn Bodo beside her, the last Ontario champion. 1996, looking to take your calls at the Sandra Schmirler Foundation. It's Sandra Schmirler Day here as we raise money for babies in crisis. Neonatal care across the country. The hospital here, the Kingston General, received $57,000, and so now they'll be able to buy a piece of equipment that will allow premature babies to breathe a little more easily. So they won't have to be shipped to, say, Ottawa or Toronto, and that'll help the families stay at home. So we hope that you will call as we welcome you back to the K-Rock Center. Ontario gets 2, steals 2. They're up 4-0. And again, here in the third, it'll be the team from Yellowknife that has the last rock playing the Yellowstones.
The last end I mentioned that the rock that was placed into the 4-foot by Ontario was left for a while by the Territories in an attempt to generate an extra point. You just have to be so careful that you do in some way leave yourself room to score. And Carey had such a difficult shot, came so close to making that angle raise, but just too tough. So you're gonna have to be aware of that again in this end.
Go the right side of it. Bump it a bit, Wendy.
And that's a better call if you can do it.
There you go, right there.
Let's go.
Try to increase the size of that scoring area. That's a dangerous rock. You throw the right weight here, you're fine. If you throw like a board weight, you can miss everything. But just a heavy draw. Allow your brushes to get it behind the tee line. If it ticks the guard, you're not going to roll through. You'll have another corner guard.
No.
Just can't be deep.
No, we have no line. 8. No, guys. It's getting better. Here goes. Yep, you can go now. Here goes. Yep. Pump it. Yep. Really hard. Well, yep.
Well, through yesterday and so far today, Russ, that's a consistency, that late finish.
Yeah, definitely in that spot, too. That's a really nice on the intern side on the sheet. But, yeah, you're exactly right. These are wonderful rocks. Mark Sherrick and the crew have done a good job as usual. And the draw weight seems to be very consistent. We talk a lot about day one where people are missing the 8-foot for no apparent reason late in the game. And, well, that just didn't happen. That's a testament to the ice-making crew.
So this is the defensive-minded Rachel, and of course scoreboard dictating some of this play. Just peeling off the guard. Hoping for the double peel, doesn't get it.
So close.
Come right on top, you can move it a bit. Throw a 7.
Just feathers that red one. Any more of that red one, she gets it right out of the play. And gets a little bit of a bad rub off the yellow. Gives the Territories a nice angle on that yellow tap later on if they choose to play it. We haven't played too many down this side. Could be a hair slower here.
It's a bit out. Whoa, 5, 7. Whoa, then. Where is it? Yep, you can go. Yep.
I heard the word 7, but they're going to have to go to make it a 7.
Yep. Okay, go. Hard. Right to it. Line skin. Go. Whoa, we're over.
And they'll drag it down almost to the face. Shot stone is still the red. Back of the 4-foot. That belongs to Ontario.
Nice shot.
Really nice angle, though. You can obviously see where that closest yellow one's going to go if there's any contact made.
Can you get the top one to go if we hit it? If we clip it, yeah. Like here. Oh.
The things you have to assess as you're moving through an end and trying to be open, play open, is are you going to sacrifice any rocks? For example, the red behind the tee line, do you care if you save that rock? If it's really enough in the end, you don't mind sacrificing it if you can spill a lot of other rocks and leave yourself potentially through third and skip stones a chance for a double to get out of trouble.
Whoa! No! Nice throw.
Nice one. Wow, great throw.
She was scared. I knew we had it. I just wanted to take it over a little.
Very nicely done, and they are showing their proficiency with that hit game.
Allison 90% in the first 2 games. That's huge. If Emma's down a little bit, 71%. If they get Emma rolling, this team is going to be scary.
Megan Cormier.
Oh, you got more room. Going 7. Okay, well then. No, guys, we gotta get to.
And a couple of rocks down the same spot, so they should glide a little bit farther.
No, we're just giving them an easy right now.
The end.
Whoa.
Okay, Meg.
Okay.
Can you get to the inside? It's tight, but I can see the whole thing.
I don't know.
So straight, I doubt it. Try and throw it hard to get it to go. It's gonna clip it. Hey. Just try and stick your shooter, that's the main thing. You can't roll it high side, otherwise you're gonna both jam.
At this young
You can always
age,
do that.
I really believe Rachel's one of the
You
best
like
at
it?
knowing the angles. They play so many upweight hits, play with so many rocks and play. They get this option that the territories team wouldn't
way do you wanna come?
as so many
Whichever way
times.
you
And
know better.
the double's there if
Try
you threw
the
it
end.
hard enough,
Okay.
but I think they're going to peel a guard with that
I
run
think
it
she's
back.
now running it
Yeah,
in
yeah.
as opposed to going directly on the yellows.
Tougher shot, but it's more rewarding if you make it. Even if you peel it, it's not all bad. 4-point lead.
Yep. Whoa!
Emma miscue.
No, never.
Here in the third,
Girl.
run it back. Oh, look at that. She'll spill it around, leave the Ontario stone shot. Shooter rolls over to the corner. The Territories slide to the edge of the 8.
It's a little soft. I thought it would go. It's better than it was.
That's a shot that, you know, 5-10 years ago, the women's teams, even at this level, you didn't see them making that
Sharon. You got it.
very often, even trying it very often. That this is one of those teams, a lot like a Jill Officer, that they made their career at making a high percentage of those. And what a great way to get your team out of jail.
7-8.
Well, then we don't want to bump it.
Sharon Cormier. You know, Linda, last week in Fort McMurray, though, even at a junior level, we were seeing more teams have that ability. On the female side, I'm saying. On the women's side, to be able to play that up weight, it's something, I guess, to my mind, that they realize, as Russ and you have suggested, that it's a benefit. You can train for it. It isn't beyond reason that you can throw it.
No, two things that have really helped anybody play up weight. That is the faster ice surface, the stones that have lots of action, that sort of thing. And the second thing is we do teach the arm extension, so you can slide out under control. A lot of people found if they kicked hard, they could get the speed, but not the accuracy. Now you can slide out under control. There's the arm bend, and there's the extension, and you can add some extra weight with that. So it's meant better accuracy and better ability to play that up weight.
No, Allie. It's good.
A slight chance here now. That double's makeable, and it's a nice angle. You can roll away from the other yellow.
Back button.
Okay.
Same way.
Yeah.
And they decided just to tap it.
Do you want to go the same way? Doesn't matter. Because this isn't bad either, although they just have that. Same thing. Yeah, let's go.
It's always a decision a skip has to make, is when during the end do I decide that trying to maintain stones in play to generate the extra points is no longer a benefit, i.e. what's the timing of playing that hit to try and score the other yellow stone that's in the ring. Sometimes you can wait too long. Often you wait because you don't want to set up a double right back, but you have to be a little careful because if the tap isn't on the right angle, you may lose the chance.
Hard, girls, hard. Right to it. Hard, 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 hard. Okay.
Very nice.
Fine. Good sweep.
That's good, Sharon. You're on the right
Yeah,
side.
I know.
I was like, good sweeping, guys.
Yeah. What you just threw? Okay. It's real thin, eh? What? Real thin. I know. Huh? Yeah. Helpful. Yeah. That's tough. Hit the open one? Hit the open one? I think so. Okay.
Even for Rachel Homan, this is dangerous. You hit half a rock, you're onto this one. You try to go the other way, half a rock, you're onto this one. It's makeable, but very dangerous. 4-point lead. You really don't have to make that go away. I think you're going to see Rachel hit this one, maybe even peel it out, roll out. That forces Galusha to come down and do something here. It might set up a double with her next one.
Do you want to roll out?
I think it's a very veteran call here.
That might work.
It's one of those things when you're playing, you don't want to make it for them, as we always said. So if it's not a really makeable shot, if the odds are low, then you do scoreboard watch. Look at those two deuces on the board already for Ontario. Play the simpler shot.
And out the side she goes.
That's just a great move. And to roll out, a lot of teams wouldn't have thought of that. You hit and stay, then it makes that yellow one tough to get out with your last one. Really good, well-coached team, you can tell.
You gotta do something. Yeah, maybe do a double or.
Place it here.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That that one won't be going anywhere. Right?
Yep.
Okay.
It may seem like a simple question to you, Russ, but and Linda. But just take that situation and go back to that yellow and put that yellow back. So you're Earl Morris. Are you sitting at the kitchen table or the table with? No, I'm being serious here. Are you sitting with the Homan team and saying, there's the situation, what do you do?
Yep.
And then you move something around on the magnetic board and you go, there's another situation, what do you do?
Yeah, no,
is it that simple?
Well, yeah, it is. It really is. And Earl's amazing at it. He understands the game. A lot of coaches, I'll get in trouble for saying it, don't get it like an Earl. Like he's been around the game forever, a high-level competitor. He's watched John, taught John. He taught Brent Lang and Craig Saville. He really gets it, and that's exactly the way to do it, because the only way a young player, I don't care how good you are, the only way you're going to get to that level as a skip, takes time to be a good skip, is to listen to an Earl Morris.
But do you recognize situations then?
Yeah, I thought you were going to talk about bringing out the salt and pepper
Yeah,
shakers. That's
and the
why
glasses.
I chuckled.
And exactly. Yeah, so once
The
around.
magnetic board is probably better.
But yeah, but I mean, is that what it is? You just start to recognize things?
Yes, and you take it to the ice in practice. You set them up, and you have the team, in this case Rachel Homan, try to throw them and see what works.
Carrie Galusha.
Go.
And we'll tap it up. Shot stone is still that red stone at the back of the button. Belongs to Ontario.
You can get that to hit out this week. It's only for 2. This is for 3.
What's for 3?
If she hits this into those, unless we peel the top
I don't think you can, because you can only hit there, because it falls so hard. I don't even know if it would go. It might go to here, actually.
Do you want to guard?
Her shooter's gone. She's got to throw a peel at it.
Do you like the guard, or do you want to hit something?
Like, if she throws here, she's got to throw a ton of weight to get a double. Her shooter's gone. It's only for 2.
Okay.
Like, maybe this. Maybe it touches it.
I don't think so.
But I think her shooter would go again. I think whatever she throws, it's only for 2.
All right, this is a live look at the game Saskatchewan, New Brunswick. Let's see, nothing on the button, Kathy. So is this a chance for 3?
It is. They're taking a lot of looks, as did Saskatchewan, at these 2 stones, the yellow on the right and the red on the left, to see who is, in fact, second shot. They don't know, and so I think that rather than draw and then finally lose the measure, they'll play the hit.
No, nothing.
Andrea Crawford and the team from the Gauge.
Oh, boy.
And it'll just sail on the outside and actually chips it in.
Make sure that it is second shot.
Yeah.
Ooh, might even be first shot.
Almost first, Kathy.
No, there's the point.
Goodness, what a
the yellow.
turnaround.
Right. Chance for 3. Ends up getting the single.
What? Probably
3-1.
I mean, it was a bit straight, but normal, right? Like.
Rachel took a long look at this. She could have hit the top one dead on, jammed the second yellow. The top one would be gone, and that yellow at the top would be guarding the back rock. But they've decided if they can guard the right-hand yellow, just cross the center line with his guard, Carrie's going to have a tough one just to score. Just a little bit across center line, maybe in the 3 position.
Line's good.
We know it curls here.
Whoa, where is it? Just tight. Whoa, looks
Switch.
like a lot. Whoa.
Switch. Yep. Whoa.
I don't think you have to worry about it curling.
No.
They switched to try and get some extra curl with the brushing. It's
Great throw,
really going to move there.
Sorry.
Sweet.
The dangerous rock for Rachel was if Carrie comes down this way. Oops, sorry. And made that tap. So that's why Rachel did what she did. She just choked that off with a guard. Now it's really hard to get at the shot rock. This one right here.
You think that one's going? Well, if we hit it here, right?
Yeah.
So if we get that one to here, it's
Yeah.
tough though. Like it's
Yeah,
just
that's so
it's
thin.
thin. Yeah.
Either that or we just catch that for our one.
Yeah. I don't mind that. Throw back.
Like, do you think that's there? I don't
want to get rid of it, right? I don't want to give them two, so we could.
Well, there's no way we can give them two. That one's going.
We could if we did
No
this.
matter what. I'm just not sure how we're clipping that. Or are we? I don't think we are.
I like this.
Megan, come take a look, and Wendy.
Should we call a timeout?
They would love to hit it here, get this one there, and make that double. But
Either
I
we
don't think the
try
angle's
to
there, Linda. I think what'll
have
happen
that
with that
for
yellow,
one.
it'll
Or do
go
you think
this
there's
way,
anything
right
here?
onto this one and stick it.
there's
And
anything
then
here,
that'll
Megan?
allow Rachel
With
Homan to
this?
steal another point with this red rock here.
How are we?
It's thin.
Like
Is it
it's
touching
really
that?
thin.
It's really thin
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you got to get it to here. So
It's like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I think it's just.
Like you have to.
I think we're hitting it here.
yeah, and then it's just going on
So
to this
then
one.
it's.
So let's
The
just do
rings
this.
are so lively, though. They're both tough. Like,
Yeah.
This one is just as
Is
tough as
the
that, probably.
as tough as it may
This
be,
one
is
will
the
curl
draw
at
there?
the end.
Yeah,
Just,
this one will.
it is there.
Yeah, good call, Vic. It's probably the
I
easiest
don't know.
shot.
What do you like more?
For one.
Out-turn
Well,
yellow
I don't
tap
know.
is there
I'm
also.
just not sure if that's there. Like, if you guys think this is here all day, then let's play it.
That's.
I'm not convinced
Well, then I think we should go with this.
that it's there.
Yeah, let's do this.
Let's go with this, and
Why don't you ask Chuck? Why don't we call a timeout?
No, I don't think we need.
let's go.
Did they ever look at the draw?
No.
No, because this is a shade easier
Okay.
than
like
the
that.
draw. The draw, you tick the yellow one, and this one you can be a little bit heavy. As long as you can pass the red guard, make contact, you're going to be shot rock here. But it's only for a single.
This is,
I
like, you
think
can
this is
see
the
that already, you
easiest
know
of
what I
the
mean?
three
Like,
shots. Linda, I don't think
It'll
that double
curl
was going to.
Are you telling me to take one?
You would never hit the shot rock.
No, it's just slightly the wrong angle.
That's just for our one.
And I know everybody wants to try and keep rocks in play when they're attempting to score, but just go back to the point that earlier when it was a little more open, maybe it was better to try the double that was available. And if Rachel then makes the double back, maybe you don't have the end set up, but it's difficult. You've got to stop the bleeding. You've got to score this end. You can't let that scoreboard keep going against you.
Let's go. Let's make this.
Okay, let's go.
So right now it's a stolen point for Ontario, sitting back button, trying to just chip that yellow stone over to grab enough. Down 4-0. Final stone here in 3. Carrie Galusha to Yellowknife.
As good as this ice is, Vic, anything heavy here will not finish.
Nothing yet from Miller or Cormier. Nothing
man.
yet. Still nothing. Has to move over. Just has to touch it. Curl over. Just grab it. Just touch it. Just, oh, and it won't.
Okay, Carrie. Hi, Carrie.
And it'll be a steal of 1. Ontario extends their lead, trying to win 3 in a row. It takes a long time to master the sport of curling. Just take a look at the teams that have raised the trophy the last couple of years, and they all have something in common, a vast amount of experience. So with that in mind, some would suggest that Team Ontario have little chance to be on top of the podium here in Kingston. After all, as the youngest team in the field, they simply don't have that experience. In the last 20 years, only one skip under the age of 30 has led her team to the championship, and that was Kelly Scott, who was in her late 20s. At only 23 years of age, Rachel Homan is the youngest skip in the field, but most people would agree that she's the one with the most potential. And despite their ages, her young team appears to have no weak link. They are playing with a confidence well beyond their years. Toss in the fact that all week Team Ontario will have home ice advantage here in Kingston, and you can make the argument that they're actually the favorites to win it all. Rachel Homan will undoubtedly win the Scotties title one day. Now, whether it's a few days from now, well, only time will tell. And so when you look back at Jennifer Jones, Kelly Scott, look at their first 2 appearances. Yes, eerily similar. Could this be the year for Ontario and Rachel Homan? Here at the K-Rock Center, She curls out of the Ottawa Curling Club. Lots of support for her, as you might expect. The drive of about an hour or so. Maybe a little bit more, an hour and 15 to 20. And up 5-0. Scored 2, steal 2, steal 1. So here in 4. Once again, it is Carrie Galusha out of the Yellowknife Curling Club that does have the last rock.
I think we're very impressed with shot making always, but I am so impressed with what I see from Rachel Homan in this game. For the second time, she has called a split on a front rock early in the game. This guard doesn't look like it's going to make it over the hog line. The very first end, she called a split on a guard to try and keep things simple. This end, put the first one in, a guard goes up, calls a split, and the team makes it beautifully. Look at that rock way over on the side now. It's not just fearless, it's impressive what they are doing out there.
Yeah, it really is. And this is the wrong team to be down a few points on. It'll be interesting as it being the home team can hurt them as this week goes along. There'll be so many distractions. You'll be walking to the hotel and somebody want an autograph, or you'll see a school chum or a friend or a relative, or it can be very tiring. I think that's where Earl will help also, to say, look, this is what we have to do. We have to stay in the bubble one shot at a time.
All to you.
I think that split, for example, that sort of tactic is not played enough in Canada. That's my opinion. And I also think we don't play it enough early in the game. I wasn't sure it was going to be the first end.
You mentioned you see it so much more in Europe, and you're right. I like that call. And if there wasn't a free guard zone, you'd be hitting that rock. So you obviously the best play would be to move it, and Rachel's team's done it twice.
I can't believe I hogged that. Whoa. I didn't even. I stopped.
There are 3 teams on the ice, 4 teams actually looking to go 3-0, and one of them is Team Canada against PEI and Suzanne Burt, Kathy.
Well, and Suzanne's in some trouble. The last end, Heather Netherman was trying to blank and wound up sticking a stone at the back of the house. I'm sure she would rather have had it this end, lying 3.
Out further. Do a lot of curling.
Burt and the team from the Charlottetown Curling Complex gave up a steal of 2 against Manitoba in their opening game, losing 8-6. That was the difference. That was really deflating for them, and then they came out and had a terrible game to lose their second. And there's a nice draw for the former Canadian and World Junior champion Suzanne Burt, down by 1 after 4.
Really going. Line's really tight. Really going. Just over.
Megan Cormier, you see her mom Sharon on the right. Her grandfather, her father, the legendary curler from
Trying to get a little
from Yellowknife, Al Dolmage.
Right, I remember Al, for sure.
And one of the nicest men ever played the game. And
jeez, you guys should have been able to get my 419 over. I don't think you're shooting hard enough.
Sorry. The handle was wrong.
Well, a little chance with that open miss.
Let's go.
Weight's all there.
Sharon Cormier, 7
6, 7
championships.
Let it work.
Yeah,
7 times at the Scotties.
Just for line.
Carrie Galusha, 8.
No, we've got an 8.
Yeah, it's
Go now.
back a bit.
Go now. Right back. Right back, girls. That's okay. Go. Right back. You gotta bury it. Go, 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 go. Right back, Megan. All you got. Go, go, go. Right back. Go, 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 go. Keep going, Megan. Go, 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 go. Nice.
Very nicely done. Unfortunately, it's such a long guard. It's accessible if Team Ontario wants to take it on here. They might just peel with the score the way it is.
Less than half. Just like, hey. Yes! Just control. Yes! Hard! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa.
And Emma Miskew's stone will roll at the back.
Okay, Sharon, let's go.
Straight at the end.
Straighten up a bit at the end. You heard Rachel say that. And it has been a hair straighter inside out on those spots. Still quite easy to bury with draw weight, but that little extra weight, it tracks just a little bit. You have to be careful not to overbrush them.
We often see that in arena conditions where the sides tend to build up a bit. I don't know if that has anything to do with it here.
Yeah. Right over. Hard. Hard. Hard.
Keep it alive for line here also.
Come on, girls, get it there.
And they will drag it there.
Sorry. Lost that.
Not for second shot, but they did get it behind the corner, just top edge of the 12.
Twice now they thought it would go there and it wasn't.
You know, because it was that 3 feet light, it didn't have time to curl enough, and Rachel should be able to see enough of this to hit and stay this time.
I didn't think it was more when I let go.
Control.
Look at it. We've talked about this with regards to any of the teams that don't bounce below enough. There's a good indication again. You know, you heard Carey say to Sharon, you know, they thought it wasn't. And when you don't play, you don't get to judge stones. You can't read it, and there's a good example of it.
Yes, and especially with these stones in this kind of ice condition, you're just not used to how the stone slides and how aggressively it curls at the end, and all the things that you learn when you play on those sorts of conditions more. It's just very difficult.
Skip stones here in 4, 5-0 Ontario. Very nice. And we'll roll it towards their own. Good brush by Allison Kreviasek and Lisa Weigel.
It's just hard not to extol the virtues of this team because we've just seen some up-weight shots played so well, but there are a few nice taps played by Ontario, including that one. Nice control of the weight, good ice reading to know where to put the broom.
It's like coming
just
around
brushed well. Everything went so well with those shots.
Whenever I played a junior team, that was the shot that you might beat them on. They all hit like the wind. Most of them can draw well. The skips can make that draw to the 4-foot, but it's that soft hack waiter, and Rachel had the exact perfect weight on that.
All right.
Another live look, Saskatchewan and New Brunswick, and boy, I tell you what, Saskatchewan and Jill Shumay has looked at nothing but yellow stones counting.
Well, she's actually got a huge break here, Vic, on Andrea Crawford's last one. She was actually playing a guard out front, and she came in deep. This has set up the double, and it's a wide open double for Jill, and it would be for 4.
So hold the shooter, bang them both, get them out, score 4. Jill Shumay in her Scotties debut from the Maidstone Curling Club. Bang, and sit, and go, little more, go, there they are.
You don't like just, I think we just pick it out. Just think it's a little bit easier to do this one. That'd be like, the line might
Saskatchewan
be
earlier
tricky. Even if it hangs, made
today
a quarter, still get
cracked
it.
a 6
Okay,
against
at least
Quebec on the way to a 12-5 win.
Just like Kathy said, if Andrea is anywhere light, or well, I think what they wanted to do is get a little more curl out of it, and then there was no double at all. And Andrea made a perfect breeze with her first one, and they jammed it out, and wow, that's a big 4.
Okay. You can make this.
2 choices with this particular stone: directly hit the opposition rock or run yours back, and it's a run back she selected.
Very little ice again, and watch this release. It's just a little inside outward motion, lots of spin. Because of the speed, they can usually hold it very straight. Kind of like that. This team reminds me a lot of the Muirhead team. It's very similar strengths and weaknesses.
I wasn't sure if he was going to take off or hang for the pick.
Although I think we're seeing fewer weaknesses. I think sometimes Eve gets caught a little bit with whether it's lack of player inconsistency. This year I'm not seeing it with Rachel's team.
Not at all.
It's an easy 10. 10-5 okay as well.
So you got it.
Let's go.
Facing 3. Hit, stick.
10.
Top 8.
Yep. It's pretty good.
For
10.
1 to get on the board. Carrie Galusha.
Clean.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Miller,
Right up.
Cormier, brush, and they'll roll it inside. And that'll be for a single as it hangs on the top edge
Good job. Look at
of the
clock
4.
we get per point.
And the team from Yellowknife
Nice shot.
is on the board, trailing 5-1. So quickly, Kathy, how many yellow do you see there in the house?
I see 5, no red, Victor.
Okay, that's perfect. What's happening there?
Well, Stephanie Devereaux has a huge headache. It has been an end of just ticked guards and stones. She's trying to angle 2 guards into the 4-foot, but even the angles aren't good for her.
Against Manitoba and Jennifer Jones, Stacy Devereaux, Newfoundland and Labrador.
Gotta go in there.
Heather Martin, Lauren
Yep. Yeah.
Wasilki, and nothing. And now, 1, 2, 3.
I don't know.
Jones, 7-0, trying to win 3 in a row. Well, it is Sandra Schmerler Day, and we want to show you this broom. It's manufactured by Scott Taylor, who is the coach of the Glenn Howard team that's going to represent Ontario. Now, there were 100 of these brooms made, of which $100 of each went to the foundation. Taylor presented a check of $10,000, but there's 1 remaining. Make a donation, be the highest donation, single donator today, and you could have that 101st broom on Sandra Schmerler Day. We hope that you will call. The team from Yellowknife picks up the single, nice hit roll, sits right there. 5-1, Ontario leads as we go to 5. And it's Ontario with last drop playing the Redstones.
Might be try and get something this way, no? Then we leave our shooter there too. So that's still 2 guards. What's the shot on? Like board weight. Try to take our own out. Okay.
It's not the position you want to be in. We've talked about Ontario and what a great job they've done, but they have the hammer and the lead in this game, and you don't want clutter. So Territories have done a good job having a guard out in front, preventing them from making an easy play on their own guard and getting rid of it, but they're going to make a try.
It's a great call by both teams. Carrie Galusha realizing that Ontario can eliminate their own mistake, so they tried to guard it. So Ontario is going to try to get it with soft weight. Nicely done. Remember, it is in the free guard zone, but you can remove your own stone.
3. Okay, I'm going to throw this to you guys.
Okay. Nice 3 here.
Throwing them a touch heavy here.
Megan Cormier.
I think we're going to go a bit. 2.
Where is it? Really? Yeah, line's really tight.
It's tight. We're at a 4 almost.
Hard. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Just for line now.
Top yellow. No.
She'll crash on
Hey,
their own guard. Split it off now and then sit covering the 8-foot on either side.
It was one of those, I'll try to make a curve enough to get me up by the guard, as opposed to just believing that these aggressive rocks are going to finish if you throw the appropriate weight. And
Just the one.
hair light, hair tight, and a bad combination.
Yeah, you're just peeling it off.
I know, I just
Yeah. Yes!
You can see that Rachel's main concern in this game is not having clutter. So although there is an opposition rock in the house, the problem that she faces is keeping the front clear. So that's the peel called.
Yes, but why take your foot off the gas here? The stone that's the shot stone is behind the tee line. Yes, there are their corners, but they're long. It does swoop in there, Russ, so why take your foot off the gas? Why don't you go after them?
Well, you could, Vic, but 1 point here is huge. You know, it'll be the next end will be the 6th. You'll be up 5 or 6 points. The only real way Kerry Galusha is going to get back and win this game is rocks and play, especially against a good hitting team. And Rachel's quite comfortable to go up and down the sheet with the great hitting ability they have. You're not wrong, but that rock that's at the back of the 4 is really not a concern for Rachel. If that was top 4, you might make a move, play a hit and roll, and try to be a little more aggressive because you'd have 2 corners. But just score here would be huge.
The funny thing about the score, Vic, is actually they haven't had their foot on the gas pedal really at all. It's been mistakes by the territory. So it's actually a very defensive Rachel Homan we've seen in this game. She's gotten the breaks, and yes, there was the steal of 2 in which some rocks were played in, but it was really because she had open opportunities with mistakes by Kerry Galusha's team.
That's also maturity, isn't it? If you think you're the better team on paper, some teams go, oh, let's go right after them, score a lot of points. Well, no, it's the exact opposite. If you're a great hitting team, why get yourself into a situation that a little wick and roll or a great shot by the other skip around 14 guards is going to get you into trouble? Just play a normal, simple game. If you're the better team and you're executing, you're going to win.
Is that to suggest that I'm immature over here? Thank you very much.
You take that one, Linda.
I thought Russ was quite kind saying that you weren't wrong.
That's right.
I'm fine. Halfway's good. It's really good.
Distracting.
So hard to answer some of those questions.
And be politically correct. And we do have to work with them. And they all
Good throw, Sharon.
Nice.
You don't think I'm immature, do you, Kathy?
I'm going to play the 5th.
Okay, here we go. In fact, we are in the 5th. What a tie-in. Look at that. What a segue. Here we go. Team Canada against PEI.
Well, that red stone, that is shot stone. That is the stone that belongs to PEI and Suzanne Burt's final stone. She was playing a draw. Just kind of got a bit of a rub off and behind. Heather looked at all sorts of options, but really the draw here is the shot, and that's what she is playing.
Team Canada playing yellow stones, so it is the stone at the back of the 8-foot shot rock. There you see it.
Whoa! Yeah!
Boy, I may have to play a little tick here unless it comes off this guard, and it does now. Where's it going to end up? Playing to the back, and it'll rub and roll off, and it's a steal of 1.
Yep.
Just 1.
Thank you. To tie it.
Line's really
3-3 going to the break.
Go a little bit.
I think Heather tried really hard to tap that back for the 2, and she's never afraid to take on the harder of the 2 options, but obviously the free draw might have made a little more sense, and if they could brush it at the end, fine.
That's fine. Nice, Sharon. Good throws.
Those rocks that are just that maybe backline weight are taking a long time to curl.
Very different. That's the judgment, trying to figure out where to put the broom.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Going the same way. Okay, Carrie.
Look another one, maybe.
Huh?
Look another one?
Yes. Right on center?
Yeah, like
On my side?
Yeah.
Okay. 2?
Little tighter than what we've been throwing them.
2.5?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go.
Northwest Territories sitting the 1 at the back of the 4. 1 without as we play here in the 5th.
Pretty close, eh? 2.
Skip Stones, Kerry Galusha and her first. Of course, Kerry
Mine's fine.
and her 2 brothers. We'll see
Mine's good.
Jamie Cooey at representing
Over
Northwest
here.
Territories
Yeah,
at the
go
Briar.
little.
What a wonderful
Yeah,
run
right
he
to
had a
center.
year ago,
Hard.
of course, making the playoffs. And then
Hard, right to center. Right up. Hard, girls. Right
her
up,
other
hard,
brother,
hard,
Kevin,
hard. Whoa, whoa.
That's good.
the
Nice, Carrie.
2010 Canadian and world champion, not making it this year and losing to Kevin Martin out of Alberta.
In a battle, too. They had an awfully close game in the first round robin game, and then they came right down to a nail biter where probably Kevin Cooey ran out of time more than anything. He had to rush his last shot and just barely missed a tough one. Broom is exactly where Rachel wants to hit it, so she expects 0 curl. That's exactly what happens with her out turn.
Clean. Yep. Just clean. Sir.
Saskatchewan, New Brunswick, and of course it was Saskatchewan and that big 4 that they put on the board in the 4th to give them the lead. Final stone on the way. New Brunswick to Andrea Crawford. Kathy?
And some great shot making by both teams. Andrea Crawford made a lovely hit and roll buried on her first, but Jill Shumay showing that she is the real deal, made a really nice run back. That's why she is shot and buried. And so this is a draw. Needs full 8-foot, Vic, for the single.
You think so? It was 405.
Jody DeSola.
It's nice, Andrea.
Danielle Parsons, the front end.
Okay.
Rebecca Atkinson.
Got it.
Managing the house back 4, single point for New Brunswick out of the Gage Golf and Curling Club.
It's less, right? He's pretty close to safe. Let's go, though. Close to the safe.
Ontario has played the whole end to try and keep the 4-foot open and have a chance for their single, having full control of the game. Carrie's going to try and make it a lot tougher.
Hard, girls. Gotta go. All the way, Megan.
Need to go to get this in the rings.
Hard. Go. Right up. Hard. Go. Hard. Go. Right up. Hard.
A little more.
Right up.
Oh.
Sweeping you girls.
Good sweeping, that's fine.
Miller and Cormier getting everything they could out of that stone.
Yeah. I threw it pretty close to the same as my first one. I was trying to give it a little more.
Sweeping.
For sure.
Mine's perfect though. They wanted a nibbler, but that's just getting it buried's the key thing.
I don't think it's
Forces Rachel to a single.
Okay.
If Rachel's going to miss anything, it's probably a draw shot. She's 93% for the week on the hits.
Just a
Her
hair
draw
more, just
percentage
in
is around
case.
79 actually.
And last Scotties, her hits were 86% and her draws were 72%. So it was definitely the weak point at that stage.
And this is the shot you want to leave her. A job well done by the Territories.
So final
Line
stone.
looks pretty good.
Shot rock back
Wait
4.
only. Line's good. Line's good. Go if you have to. Line's
Alison
straight.
Kreviasek
Oh,
is on the left. Lisa Weigel is on the right.
Wait only.
Emma Miskew. Wait only, she says. And look at it just carve in there. A bit of a grinder as it comes to a stop at the back of the 4. 6-1 as they go to the break. Welcome back to Kingston, the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. Let's check the numbers after 5, Linda.
Ontario's played a very open style, but they've played it beautifully. When you look at the numbers, 93%. We're talking numbers in the 90s for both draws and hits, and it's made it very tough for Carrie Galusha and the team from the Territories.
The numbers after 5 are brought to you by Tim Hortons Premium Brand Coffee, always 20 minutes fresh. From the K-Rock Center here in Kingston. The first time that the Scotties has been to this part of Ontario.
Try to get a little tighter
We're about
halfway.
midway between Toronto and Montreal.
At least halfway.
An hour and a half, a couple of hours, I guess, south.
Yeah, right over. That's better, Wendy.
Southwest of
Thank you.
Ottawa.
Good sweep, guys. Nice shot. Yeah.
And here in the
another where you wanna
6th,
throw
it will be the Northwest Territories Yukon.
Yeah.
It does have the last rock playing the Yellowstones. Down 6-1.
Whoa.
Easy, no. Wide.
Yep.
All right, your thoughts on what the two coaches may have said here. And let's start with Ontario, Russ. What do you think that Earl Morris was telling them?
Well, I'm sure he's. I talked to Earl before this game, and they won big this morning. And I said, "Geez, that was pretty easy, Earl." And and he said, "No, we were sloppy. We were sloppy." And I think that speaks to Earl's commitment to this team. He doesn't want them to get ahead of themselves. He wants them to. It doesn't matter what the score is or you know, what's happening here. It looks like they're going to win. They have to keep executing and building and keep that confidence going and try to play better and better and better as the week goes along, because winning today doesn't win you a championship. So I think he's going to really keep them focused.
And if you were Kelowna's Jock Tyre, who lives in BC but curls and coaches rather this team from Yellowknife, what do you think he told them?
I think one of the things that happens in these sorts of games, the territories have made some mistakes, but Rachel Homan has them on edge. She has them frustrated, and you have to take that emotion out of the game and just go back to playing the one shot at a time. Jock would try to keep them focused and calm. And remember, it's early in the week. You want to try and put together some shots that will build for the rest of the week, not just today.
With Ontario leading 6-1, they have made a change, and Allison Kreviasek has come out at second, and so that brings in 28-year-old Stephanie Ledrew. Also saw some action in Draw 1.
It's hard to come off the bench. In this case, you're sitting there, it's fairly cool in this building, and suddenly coming out there in front of all these fans and trying to perform well, give the other player a break. It's hard for the person coming off the bench. So although you saw low numbers, you still get the job done. You're just trying to make some good throws out there.
Great delivery again, another well-taught delivery from a young age. So balanced, flat foot.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I know. You know me. Yeah. Sliding big time. Sit down.
It's good, Megan. Nice throw. Good, Megs.
Ooh. Oh. Guess I shouldn't have cleaned.
Quite a bit, but.
Wow.
Yep. Step normal. Hard. Hard. Okay, never mind. It's good stuff.
Took a crack at getting both of them. Wasn't far off. Just a little bit less peel weight than I think Rachel's used to.
Yeah, it's a player she doesn't play with regularly, and I was thinking even the release, it's much softer, not the same rotation, so you just have to make a pretty big adjustment if you're Rachel. It's a great throw, just a little bit different kind of throw.
That's pretty good.
Gotta be high.
25.
16. There is it. One,
Take
two,
a look.
it's two.
Take a
Take a
look.
look. Weight's nice. 2.5.
Yeah.
2. Take a look.
Line's fine.
This slide.
Well, that's good.
Nice, Megan.
Okay, good.
Just one now?
CTV's The Amazing Race is back with an all-new season, and this year you can expect twists. The Amazing Race starts tonight at 8, 7 Central on CTV.
Yes!
So Rachel holds the peel, stands back in the house as she has a nice angle as the rock comes at you.
See you guys.
Most players would walk up to that 2 position and put the broom right where the guard is. It's obviously a preference of the thrower also.
Yeah.
I played with a lot of players that don't want to see that. They want the broom up by the rock you're actually hitting, the object rock.
Let's go, Shan.
Well, if there's a lot of stones in play, don't you, I mean, if it's cluttered and you can't hardly see it, don't you want to be up front of
Yeah,
it?
true. You might have to go up there, but it's way better for the person in this case calling the line and Rachel to stand back and see it coming if it is a run back.
2.5.
It's actually interesting to ask people when they're throwing where they do look. Some people look at the very bottom of the broom, but some don't mind just looking at the handle, the stick coming up a little higher. And it actually, in some ways, if a player is struggling with outcome thinking, I must make this because then we will sit 2 or whatever it is. If you take the eye off the stone you're trying to hit and become just a pure weight to the broom, sometimes it actually works.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of people under pressure are guilty at looking at the rock they're trying to hit. This double will fly. You need some speed, but Emma's the one that can do it. She throws it very hard, tons of leg drive. Quarter of a rock, they all go.
Emma Miskew.
Nice throw, Em.
Bang. And everything goes. Leaving Ontario sitting 1, back 8.
Good shooting.
Sweet.
It's hard to explain until you've been out on the ice and had this happen, but the frustration I mentioned, you can be close in a game and still feel terribly frustrated and that you're not even in the game. It's a very strange feeling.
But by the same token, let's go back to what you said earlier. Ontario is up 6-1.
Yeah, go a little bit. Yep.
Maybe doesn't even deserve to be up by that much. It's the mistakes.
Go.
Is that the frustrating part for the team from Illinois?
Well, it's partly your own mistakes, but it's the style of play. Having someone play splits on you, taking your guards off the front, it's a very unusual style, and they're making them, so you're not having much to work with. And end after end, you see something potentially build up, and away it goes.
I think it's in the ice.
And good for Rachel. I'm not saying it's not a good thing to do. It's just when you're on the receiving end, you have to try and handle that emotion.
Yep. Hard. Clean. Slow step. Sorry.
I think sometimes in the men's game,
Came back just a hair. Okay.
Russ, it would be similar if you just can't generate any offense and the other team continually peels and takes your stones away. Now, that's their prerogative, but I guess the frustration comes from you not being able to generate anything.
Well, that's just it. And sometimes you'll get down early and the other team is willing to dance with you. They want to stay aggressive, as you commented, Vic. And then you feel like the losing team feels like they do have a chance to come back.
Okay.
With Rachel Homan here hitting everything in sight now with the great hitting ability they have, Galusha has to hope for 5 mistakes to catch up in this game. Are there going to be 5 mistakes? That's what's running through her head. Line should be pretty good. They're saying no line, but if the weight's close, that should come across here pretty close.
Just wait for it.
Hey, go now.
Go, Megan. Go hard. Right back to it. Right back to it.
And right back to it indeed.
Nice, Carrie.
Nice shot by Carrie Galusha. Let's check the skips numbers.
Well, sometimes you look at the skips and there's points you can bring out, but I think I just say, wow. What more do you need to say when a skip's curling 100% perfect in both draws and hits and putting all the pressure on the opposition? Carrie just made a beauty, but end after end, these rocks seem to be taken away.
And you think about where the mistakes were, a couple of flashes, and that leads to the steal of 2, another steal of 1, 6-1. The player numbers brought to you by Capital One. What is in your wallet?
Make them all fly.
Sweet. I don't have to sweep like that very often.
Sorry?
So we don't have to sweep rocks that fast very often.
No.
Okay, let's get a head start.
That's a great point, and we've brought that up before, where some people aren't used to the speed that, in this case, Rachel throws and aren't used to brushing. And if you don't have the slider, if you're trying to put people on both sides of the rock and use grippers, that's a tough task. So yet again, an opportunity goes, and it's a blank.
Final stone here in 6. Carrie Galusha from Yellowknife pitches it through. Blank goes on the board. Our first of the game. It comes in the 6th, 6-1. Ontario leads. When you think back, 3-time Canadian, 3-time world champion, Sandra Schmirler, of course, the gold medal. That coming in Nagano, 1998. The memories. There's the number to call. Sandra passing away 13 years ago. And the foundation in support now of neonatal care centers across the country. And that's where we will turn our attention to the reigning Saskatchewan champions, Jill Shumay and her team from Maidstone, as they play New Brunswick. We're in the 7th now. Saskatchewan leading it 6-4, and it'll be New Brunswick and Andrea Crawford that has the last rock, playing the Yellowstone.
You like that? Okay.
We've just been glancing over to see updates on this sheet, but there have been a lot of rocks in play, and a lot of them have belonged to Jill Shumay.
Go get it.
Really a last stand. If it wasn't for that great guard by Andrea Crawford, it would have been a totally different score on that scoreboard. They've already scored 1-4 in this game.
Andrea had a chance for 3 one end, and it tracked on her a little bit and only got a 1 out of it, and that's really been the difference. Jill, the 4-ender was impressive. We had a chance to watch most of that end, and they made 3 soft hit and rolls in behind corner guards and set up the 4-ender. Really well played end.
Whoa, whoa. It's over curling, I think. Atta girl, T.
Kathy Goche, you said before the game started this was the one that you would like to keep your eye on, and we've taken it away from you now. Sorry about that. But
my eye is now lost.
No, that's right. So, but your thoughts on the game so far?
You know, the biggest thing I would say on this sheet is it's been a placement story. And so for Jill Shumay and her Saskatchewan team, they have placed the stones in the right spots and created opportunities, short guards so that she can run them back when she needs to. And the challenge on the other side has been New Brunswick. Sometimes they played a great end, but it's been 1 rock or 2 in the wrong spot. And we saw that one by Andrea that led to the 4 by Saskatchewan. So little things today, but again, Saskatchewan continues to show me that they really are a team that maybe could have been here earlier.
Nice 10 here. Go get it.
Danielle Parsons. Lots of yellow out there now for the team from the Gage.
You have to remember with Saskatchewan, Beck, that they only lost 1 game in their provincials, and that was the great Stephanie Lawton. It was, I believe, a 6-5 game. Beat Stephanie in the final, so full marks for winning that provincial.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Atta girl, real nice.
So here's what you were referring to. A winner over Amber Holland, of course, former Canadian champion, and so looking to win Saskatchewan's first championship since Holland in 2011, and then Stephanie Lawton. As well as beating Lawton and Holland, she also took out Michelle Englot as well on the road to winning the Saskatchewan championship. Michelle, the representative a year ago.
That's true.
9.5. I'd like to cross it.
Smart call here. You roll away from the center. That's the objective. The yellow one should be gone, and by hitting it that way, you might get those red ones moving. Certainly the top red one.
First thought was to come through the hole and try and get shot rock, but there's still lots of time this end.
No, 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 no.
Interesting. Then they decided to go the other way. I thought they were going to. Wasn't that the call? They could have brushed that.
I thought so.
And now they're in a little bit of a pickle here. With they are yellow guards, but with 2 of them, it makes those run backs a little tougher. Could have brushed that all the way down, hit it a little thinner. The yellow one might have tracked the red over towards the other red.
15.
Nice opportunity here to apply a pile of pressure. Just top 4, partially buried, maybe hopefully fully buried. We haven't seen much in this sheet, Linda, but
got room.
Looks like it's going to curl 4 feet.
You got room. 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 Room.
Long way out there so far.
Okay.
Kara Johnston, who is Jill Shumay's cousin, is due on April the 3rd, and they have talked, in fact, about how many games she will play, depending on games.
Okay, Kara.
Whether she's able to play, if she gets fatigued, if a game gets a little bit out of hand, she may leave the ice. And they have Patty Harriscorn on the bench, and Patty is a veteran of Saskatchewan play.
Do you like that? What, the wait or the call? The call. Yeah, I Pardon? We have 3/4 of this one.
Didn't quite bury that absolute perfect weight, but they couldn't brush at that extra foot because of the line. You can get to the inside here, but you won't be shot rock. Rebecca throws a very soft takeout weight. You hear them say 10 all the time. I would say she's closer to an 11. She rarely overthrows, which I think is great.
No! No! No, no, no! It's running really straight. No! Go up just a hair. That's good.
Nice shot. You can tell that she was like maybe a hair wide, but because it was not overthrown, it gave it a chance, a little more time to curl. And it's in a really good spot. I don't think you can hit that.
Now the angle's great onto the red, towards the red side. If you're going to make a play on this, you're going to have to be very careful.
Oh boy, this is, yeah, no kidding.
Forget, it looks like that yellow stone is a biter at the top of the house.
This could turn the entire end around if this jams on the red one. And if that top one's in, it would be a hit for 3 for New Brunswick early in the end.
Hard! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, beauty, Kara. Nice shot.
Wow, very nicely done.
To feather it past the stone at the back edge of the 4.
Good call.
Great confidence in your team member and beautifully thrown.
Stay full on my first one, eh?
And you have to be very confident because the curl on this ice is late with these stones. So for a long time, that's sitting in the jam position, just curls up at the end.
Do you want me to come down or?
Tells you what you need to see with Saskatchewan right there. Just to call that shot shows great confidence.
I think we got to draw. Like, that's a tight hole, Becky. We can't count on being able to.
Oh, I know. I agree. I mean, I was ever thinking if you got, yeah. We got to make sure, I mean, obviously we want to, but we got to make sure we get. Like, that's not, hopefully we're going to have to just out-count that one and not get rid of it at this point. Like.
Right, right. So we got to play for our deuce in the 4.
Yeah.
I think we draw.
I mean, we draw and we've got options like.
Yeah, we got taps, runs.
That's, I mean, we're most likely going to do this, which is still not going to be great.
What's that do for us?
Exactly.
And then if we don't roll and she knows is there, then our draw's cut off.
Is there anything we can, I don't know.
We draw. I think we draw. Let's draw.
2 choices. You could hit and roll and take away this dangerous rock.
Too.
But Andrea, because of the score the way it is decided that she has to be aggressive. She's going to try to draw through that little opening and try to put it top 4 foot, but it's really dangerous.
What?
I'm looking at the peel now.
Yeah, but how does, like, I don't think we can. She's probably going to draw around if you hit and roll.
Well, I mean, the other thing we can do is
she have, right?
We can try this, Andrea, and if we clear one of these.
Yeah, but you're not. If you try that and you're just doing that and you're sticking your.
Yeah, I know that's true.
Danielle, she's not going to. She's going to draw around. Because she's number 2. Or number 1, sorry.
Well, I mean, do you like this? You talked about this before, or like.
No, I think.
I mean, we got 3 shots left. These are not helping us really at this point because I don't know.
Then we can try and hit half of that and hope that something goes there.
But we're still going to leave one, right? I'm just saying I don't know.
No, I said like 3/4 of that.
Okay.
Okay, let's play that.
So what do you want to hit?
3/4 of that.
Okay.
I think it makes a difference too if this rock is in the rings, and it looks like it is, because there would be nothing wrong with coming down here and hitting this one. Even if you stay here,
we're just gonna play
they hit it again. You might then play a double. You might be able to play the red double later if the angles are a little differently, and that brings that little biter into play. And they decide to go to the defensive mode.
Yeah.
Run both yellows. The danger here is that takes away that biter, if it's a biter.
hard to tell.
Yellow, try to get that back red.
Rebecca Atkinson.
Oh, lovely shot.
And will get it.
Beauty.
And opens up the center line, too.
Right over, right over, right over, right over, right over. Good job.
Great shot. Well thought out.
You like that? Yeah, I do.
That was a way better plan, Linda, I think, than playing that draw through that tiny little opening.
It's funny how long it did take them to get there. I really thought that that's what they were going to look at first with all the collection of stones we've seen in this game and the trouble that it's caused. I really thought they might think about opening up sooner, but got to the right shot and played it very nicely. And yes, the yellow does roll out, but that house is now open.
Jill's going to try to split the rings here. They feel that the red one's not close enough to guard.
Where are you?
Jill Shoemaker win over Stephanie Lawton. Lawton's loss was her third straight Saskatchewan final.
Hurry, girls! Right, come on, right to forefront. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Right back, right back. Right back, right back, right back.
That's good, that's good, that's good, that's good.
Good sweeping, girlies.
Good job.
The applause you heard here at the K-Rock was for this. Manitoba, Jennifer Jones wins 3 in a row as she beats Stacey Devereaux, Newfoundland Labrador. The Ballyhaley and St. John's 9-1 the final, and Newfoundland Labrador winless in 3.
Try and get rid of them both.
It's easy from up here, but once that rock was by the yellow guard, they kept brushing it. And Andrea can throw it really hard. This is possible to jump this across, maybe get the backside of that red one, maybe even be partly buried.
You have to think through what you're trying to accomplish. You're trying to force Andrea to 1, and there would be a way to half bury that and then get it higher in the house, all sorts of things. And if they hit the one they're about to hit, they'd roll into the side of the second one and would not be buried.
No! No!
Yeah, perfect. Top 12.
Yeah, edge.
Okay, go get it. Atta girl. I think we could have afforded a lot less ice though with that weight. Because it's not going to curl.
No, it really didn't.
That's what you find with these inserted rocks
Just a
now.
little less, Kara.
You bring the weight up like Andrea demonstrated there. It's just going to go poker straight. So you have to be. We watched Homan. Virtually every upweight takeout had 0 ice.
Pretty much.
It's a great skill to master if you can take curl out of the equation, and Rachel has figured out how to do that.
For Shumei, it's a return to skipping. She skipped once before at a Saskatchewan championship, went 1-6 back in 1998, and then hooked up with a couple of teams, including at one point in time playing with Stephanie Lawton. And then a couple of years decided to skip again, and this team has been together now 2 years, and here they are as Saskatchewan champions.
Hurry for a bike, girls. Hurry for a bike, girls. You got it. You got it. Come on, guys. Right up, right up, right up, right up, right up. All the way, all the way, all the way, all the way. Great sweeping, guys.
Real nice. Roxy. To the left, guys.
Yep. Nice weight.
That one did curl across center, so Andrea does have room to get by the Saskatchewan rock that is top 12. The whole side of the sheet is available.
That, you can watch, see hers digging in. 95.4, eh?
Yeah.
Make it T.
Talking about split times.
Andrew's a little concerned it might be a hair slower here, and I think they're going a little wider than Jill did, so I doubt if it's slower.
So final stone here in 7, facing a couple, one top 12, one top 8.
Starting to curl a little bit.
Full 8 foot. Should give it to her.
Starting to curl now. Bring it right to the 4 foot. Don't lose it.
Andrea Crawford, Solon, Parsons on the brush. Atkinson calling the line, and there it was. Stops back 4, single 4. New Brunswick here in 7. Still down by 1. Weather has been perfect for skating. It's cold, clear today here in Kingston. This is on the backside, behind City Hall. In the summertime, there's markets out here, and in fact, earlier today and on the weekend, you still get a few craftspeople selling things like honeys, jams. It's time now for the M&M Meat Shops Final End Challenge. Right after the game, go to finalend.ca and enter the secret word for a chance to win a trip for 2 to the 2014 World Junior Curling Championships in Flims, Switzerland. First 100 entries will have a chance to win a $50 M&M gift card, and all participants will get an M&M discount. Finalend.ca. It's the Final End Challenge. Secret word is coming up. We have big cameras, we have little cameras, all of it, of course, to give you the most comprehensive curling coverage. We're at the Scotties Tournament of Hearts in Kingston on a Sunday afternoon. 6-5, Saskatchewan leading, and it is Saskatchewan. It does have the last rock, playing the Redstones here in 8.
It was a very nice draw by Andrea. Got her single, but now it's a big decision to make because the score is still very close. But the center guard goes up, come around made by Saskatchewan, and here's a freeze attempt. Saskatchewan is definitely going to try and control the rest of this game, so Andrea's going to have to decide how much risk to take on in this end.
Spectacular weight. Just didn't get the curl for some reason. Might be getting a hair straighter. Usually does in arena conditions. Love to roll to the inside here. It's not easy. It's what they say, edge on edge. You know, it's to get by that guard within an inch or 2 to get inside roll.
Yep, yep. Yep, whoa, whoa.
Very nice delivery from Janae, and big numbers in this game. And here's another example. A beautifully thrown rock.
Atta girl, atta girl. Good job.
Nice throw, Janae.
Kathy, you're back on deck here. 4-3 Team Canada leading Prince Edward Island.
Well, on Suzanne's first, she really tried to force something facing 2 stones. She tried to bury around a stone in the top of the 12. About 3/4 of it was open. Heather was successful in removing it and sticking around. So she's facing 3 here on her final.
Suzanne Burt out of the Charlottetown Curling Complex will pick up 1 sitting there, T-line 4 foot. And they're all even 4-4, trying to win her first. Team Canada trying to win 3 in a row. Danielle Parsons. Got a little smidge of a turn towards the cover center line.
11. 11. 11. Go get it.
11 being the number system. 7 to the button, 10 to the back 12 foot. So just enough to remove this rock. That'll allow you maximum amount of curl. And this one needs to curl.
Janae?
I got it.
Goodbye.
Okay.
Kathy, back to the game now that we started with. Ontario leading 6-2 over the team from Yellowknife. That one Yellowstone belonging to Galusha, but all kinds of trouble here.
Well, she is. That little roar that you heard was Carrie's great shot to come through the hole. Unfortunately for the team from the north, there is an angle here, and it would be for 4 and probably lights out.
Rachel Homan. Angle it back, got it, loses as a shooter, but there's still 3. 1, 2, and 3 to make it a 9-2 game, Ontario. And handshakes as Carrie Galusha and the team from Yellowknife will say that's enough. And it's 3 straight wins for Ontario and the team from the Ottawa Curling Club. Galusha will slip to 1 and 2. And it is indeed, as the sign says, very good. Homan field advantage.
Impressive game, especially from the skipper there. She was 100 when we left, just made 2 beauties that end.
Yeah, she set up with her first, the angle for the second. It was well thought out and, as you said, well executed. Just a brilliant game.
Gotta go!
The last one for New Brunswick comes deep. 2 stones in the back of the 12-foot does leave room for Saskatchewan if they want to apply some pressure, get in there, get in behind cover. Needs to be 8 foot.
I got it. Atta girl.
So all 4 teams that came into the draw undefeated. Well, 2 of them have won. Ontario and Manitoba. Saskatchewan, Team Canada are still on the ice. Newfoundland Labrador, we saw Stacey Devereaux drop her 3rd, and now Carrie Galusha from Yellowknife drops to 1 and 2.
You're way, way out there though. Like this is okay, because you're way out there. Yep, 3, yep. Hard, get it a 3. Hard, something we can use. Go, 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 hard. Okay, okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Do you want to play that double, or do you want to tap that? What do you like? Yeah.
Interesting call, Linda.
I don't mind it.
They're talking
The double?
about getting rid of this rock. They had the option before they threw this one to do that. There was only the 2 yellows at the back of the rings. They could have eliminated this rock here earlier. Yes, there'd be 2 enemy rocks, but they're behind the tee line. That would allow you to score in the important 8th end. Now that they've left the guard, yes, they made a come around, but there's a little bit of shrapnel out in front that they might have to deal with.
The first thing they'll do is try the double.
Whoa. 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 Yep. Whoa.
Whoa!
Yes. Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa. Whoa. Okay.
It kind of plays into Andrew's hand because they were hoping to steal one here. Much tighter this time.
Go! Whoa! Yep! Whoa! Yeah, line! Whoa! I just didn't want to get too close to this, but it's deep anyways.
And deep it is. We'll stop 4-shot stone at the back of the 8th.
There you go.
Rebecca Atkinson.
It's a lot of deep draws played by New Brunswick. Andrea must be a little frustrated. They've had chances to get into the good position using that center guard and just haven't made the shot. So hand it back to Saskatchewan to get in there first.
Let it go. Where are you?
don't stop.
Hard, hard, hard.
They managed to get it by the center line guard. Couldn't get it by the stone top of the 8. It is unbelievable how that carves in there.
Yeah, they actually lost that, Vic. You could see it. It looked almost the same line as Becky's, which meant it's going to curl too much. Becky was a lot heavier, and because that was a little lighter, curled a little more and caught that back side of that red one, which is really unfortunate. They had a nice end going if that gets by. Andrew's got a shot at getting to the inside roll here. It's not easy, but we're right behind the sheet, and she can get an inch or so in the inside. If she doesn't, she might jam it on all that wall that they've set up themselves.
Whoa! No, close! No! Sweep the red.
And that red moved just far enough. It appears that at the moment, New Brunswick sitting one for sure, but then take a look at those stones around the edge.
Yeah, well, knows at least we can
and
roll
it's
our own, right?
really close
Just off
for who is second shot. Top 8, red or back 8 yellow.
Okay.
It is close, Vic. Where do you run this yellow rock too? It's tough to remove it with that wall back there.
I just want to look at something.
Want to play more weight?
Are we going to be shot if we do this?
If we don't jam.
Well, we're jamming, right? But you mean if we get to here?
Well, if we have to get to the hole,
Yeah.
right?
Okay. No, that's all I wanted to look at.
Right?
Okay. Cool.
We have to get to the hole.
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay.
If they hit it back this way and jam
That's
it,
what she did.
this yellow rock could be shot rock, so they have to be careful. They have to get on either side
And then we have control right at the
of
top
that yellow
on both
rock.
sides. Back line.
And wiggle it through the hole there, and ideally hit the yellow one on the right-hand half and roll away, and you might sit 2, possibly 3, but really good chance this is going to jam on something.
Even if you jam it on the hole, I'm not sure what you actually will be left. It's going to be close between the one at the top of the house.
I'd love to roll buried, but I don't think there's enough room there.
Whoa! Right off. Stay close. Stay close.
Nice soft weight again. It should finish.
Stay close. Yep. No. No. No.
No. No. No. No. No. No. No. No. No. No. No. Okay.
So all those, that wall of stones at the back. And New Brunswick is sitting the 1 center line, 8 foot.
Well, it could be a tap for 2, but that's fine.
How?
I don't think she pushes that.
That 4 rock? No.
How much do you got of that 4 rock?
No, you're right. It probably isn't there.
Just guard.
The shot that Andrew has to be concerned about is some type of tap, either one of those reds onto this yellow and moving it back and scoring a multiple score, but they can't see enough of this red one on the right because of this corner guard. The only way they can get at that rock is to hit it in this direction. So the only dangerous rock by elimination is guarding the left-hand side.
It should be okay, guys.
These are the ones I find you never take enough ice on, especially if you come from an area where there's straight ice. You throw lightweight and it just bends a little sooner. You've got to really take tons of ice on these.
This is the final stone for Andrea Crawford.
Don't nose freeze, guys.
Yep.
She's had a little trouble with these guards sliding in. That's what gave the 4 to Saskatchewan earlier.
Oh my goodness. Did that line up, Linda?
She's holding her head as if she's created a headache for herself.
I think we can get 3.
Be happy with 2.
Yeah, for sure. But
so we need to be a little off note on this side.
Yeah.
No, nose we go across, right? So we need to be a little off nose here. All right, here we go. Can I wait? You want to throw?
Just a 10.
Okay, go get it.
Andrea just a little deep there, wanted that yellow one out here somewhere, threw it a little heavy, and Andrea yelled, "You better brush it," to stop the alignment. They didn't hear her. Those two look like they line up somewhere in this area. So if they hit it perfectly, it's potential too anyways.
With a 10.
The main thing is score at this point. You're one up. Even if you tap it into the 4-foot, get your single. If you don't think the alignment's right. They feel they can throw some weight at this, but it might go across the top of that yellow and go to the left a little bit.
Because there's separation between the first two, you have to really think through how you're going to hit this. A little on the broom side might direct it back at a better angle.
Yeah, I think if you threw this really hard and it goes across the top, it might be a steal of one. So you have to be careful here.
Final stone.
Close.
Here in 8. Gilles Choumet.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Holtby on the
Whoa.
left.
Whoa.
Harry on the right.
Whoa. Come on,
You
baby.
hear her cousin
Come on,
Johnson run it back and catch her, back it up. Sitting 1 at the top. Really close around.
So can I kick this one out?
Yeah. So
1 for sure is my thought at the top.
Okay.
I think
2 maybe.
Could be a 4-way measure here.
That one's 1.
1 for sure.
It did do exactly what we said. It went across the top a little, and if she'd thrown a little lighter, this red one would definitely be number 2. But now it's in the hands of
that one's 2.
Official.
For sure 2.
Oh, it is 2.
Goodness.
Good.
Okay.
I think it's only 2, but I really am.
Let's measure it then. We'll measure.
So they'll call for the measure.
2 for sure. It's on the way.
I think we'll measure anyway. I think it might be that
I
one.
called the measure. It's all good.
Which is good or bad?
Just hung on there, like we talked about. If she throw that any harder, it's going to keep on rolling. The angle wasn't quite there.
Yes, please.
The extra speed didn't help. The yellow one was never going to go farther.
Yeah, it's, Andrea knows she handed it to her by putting the rock in the rings. Upset with herself.
So from the New Brunswick stone. All right. We got a sense of it. One more time. Watch it go. A little bit more.
Oh, 3.
It is 3. Wow. Saskatchewan got 4 in the 4th. Now 3 and 8. 9-5. They lead, trying to win 3 straight on Sandra Schmerler Day at the Scotties. The foundation in support of neonatal care centers, babies in crisis, and yes, champions indeed do start small. There's the number to call. We hope that if you haven't already made a donation, you will. And if you have, thank you. Our featured game to start the day, Ontario, with a 9-2 win to win their 3rd in a row over the team from Yellowknife. But that's where our key shot will come from.
Key shot, key player, won the Fort Hot Shots already. One of the top skips percentage-wise. The only thing I suggested was they're hitting so good she might miss the odd draw. Look at this one. The line is absolutely perfect. The speed, they asked for full 4. It's full 4. It kind of Christmas trees them a bit. Makes Carrie Galusha's shot so difficult. It was another steal of 2. 97% for Rachel today.
The key shot is brought to you by sponge towels, paper towels. Nothing absorbs like it. Now the game story.
Well, it really was a difficult start for Carrie Galusha. She flashed in the first end, gave a deuce for Ontario, but then it was all Ontario and a beautiful angle run back in the 8th for 3, and that was what caused the game to be ended. 97%, and it was a 30 percentage point spread at that skip position.
Brought to you by the Dominion, Canada's trusted insurance company. On a Sunday afternoon here in Kingston, the 32nd edition of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. 9-5, Saskatchewan leads.
Close to the same.
New Brunswick.
Same spot.
They will have the last rock. Here in 9, playing the Yellowstones. Jody DeSola throwing the lead rocks for the team from Gage Golf and Curling Club. About 20 kilometers southeast of Fredericton.
Feel? It's like an 8.
I was a little surprised Saskatchewan put their second rock in the house. First one was placed beautifully top button. I don't think you really need that many in play with a 4-point lead. But now it is time to clean things up.
So with their lead, they've elected to make a switch. Saskatchewan, Taryn Holtby is out. Patty Hersicorn has come in.
Hard to nose, it's a nose. Tara, maybe.
Jill Shumay played several years, 6, I believe, with Patty. Patty skipped, and Jill threw the third stones.
You got to be even or a little above these two.
Nothing against Patty, but as you mentioned in the other exchange with team members late in the game, it's so hard to come out. This it's only a 4-point lead here. It's a little dangerous to be a couple missed guards. We could pick up a 3 here in a hurry. The 3 guard zone, a couple of guards. Lots of chances left.
And when you do put those 2 stones in the 4-foot, you have to peel from the inside to avoid jamming into them. And that particular spot curls more, and you have a player coming off the bench that's going to have to throw it pretty hard, and she just couldn't do it. Nice come around there.
Nice one, Danny. Good sweep, girls.
Same weight, Patty.
Same weight. Here you go.
Similar to the Ontario game when they made the alternate change, the Patty doesn't throw quite as much weight as some of the team members on those peels. And the first one over curl, she threw it great. It just over curls. This one they took a little more ice.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Okay, atta girl, that works.
Ooh, just enough.
Okay. Just more weight though, eh?
Yeah. No,
Then her first one?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. No.
So this time she did give it the little extra weight, and I don't know if the skipper was expecting it after the first one was a little quiet, and that made it run that much straighter. Just got the back one.
That's how easy it is to miss, isn't it? The first one she expected more weight, the skip did. It overcurled because it was light, so the skip automatically takes more ice. The thrower automatically throws more weight, and it was 2 wrongs make a wrong.
Hard line. Really hard. Go. Hard, girls, hard. Hard, go.
Trying to wrap it around the corner, covering the edge of the 8-foot, and they can.
Hard. Hard, 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 hard.
Just a 10, you guys. Yeah.
One other game is still on the ice.
Just a
Team
10 here.
Canada and Heather Nedowin. They scored 2 in 9 to take
No, that's
a
perfect.
6-4 lead. However, it is Suzanne Burt from PEI and Charlottetown that does have the last rock coming home, down by 2.
Yeah, you can go.
Yep.
Can't hurt it.
Yep.
Yep. Gotta hurry.
Hard.
Straight up.
Hard, girls.
Straight up.
Hard.
Straight up.
Clean. Atta girl, Kara. Real nice.
Keep, girls.
Pretty good position for that rock, and it kind of chokes off that yellow come around there. Now you can't really do anything with it, so they have to go around the other one, which is longer.
Do you like this? Yep, a little bit. Yep. Hard line. Really
Gotta
hard
go for line.
Okay. You're all over the guard.
front.
Yep, yep, yep. Come off. Okay, no, never mind. Okay, that's all right.
Interesting. Interesting. 4 up. You tempted to make some granite move, but They like this. Jill likes the situation. Hard to remove all the guards, I guess. So put this in tight. It has to be tight though. It can't be a long guard.
Well then, let it work.
Line's nice. Line's nice. Whoa! Whoa!
Careful!
Whoa!
Careful!
Whoa!
Careful!
Whoa!
Careful!
Whoa!
Careful!
Whoa! 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 Whoa!
We're over curling. We're over curling.
Okay, Kara.
I think
A girl.
Saskatchewan might be happy with the guard, but I think Andrew Kelly is too.
Yeah, that's long, over curled, leaves the path to the 4 foot. Leaves lots of options for New Brunswick.
Sure came in.
What about just bumping them both back? Well, if you leave her 1 and 2, she might just guard. Okay, whatever you like.
Valid point, and you have to know your opponent. They weren't afraid to guard last shot, so they won't be afraid to guard next shot. I like the double and roll buried, and Saskatchewan will wonder why they threw that guard.
We'll get rid of one, and then the shooter will roll over and I think just peek out the wide side on the edge of the 8.
A little soft. We've seen Rebecca before. Soft on the weight and release, and that means it curls a little more just by the front.
That cut hard.
Unfortunately, it rolled open, but Saskatchewan's going to stay on the gas pedal, as Vic suggested. Because it's buried and it's a red guard that would have to be run in there, they're going to go right after it and try to put this game away.
Where are ya? 6. Okay, that's all we need. Line's great. Lots of room. I need full 8 foot. Yep, for line. Here it comes. Yep, for line.
Yep.
Gotta hurry, girl.
Oh.
Do you want us to remove it? Okay, yep.
That was touched, and that's a person coming off the bench again. They're not used to brushing together. And so brooms collided, touched the rock. The touch is within the hog lines, between the hog lines, and that means the stone comes off.
You got all that yellow one out there?
I think so. Well, yours cut really hard, yeah. We don't just play back 8 weight.
Yeah, because even if you sit here, and I mean, you may not get to count that one, but at least you can.
Yeah, just not used to the proximity of the brushes, and it was actually the player who normally plays who did touch the stone, but it was the combination that caused it.
And let's remember, in their 5th, in Patty Hersicorn, she is usually a skip too. So
The way Becky's went should cut in there.
If Andrew can get around here with the right weight, she might be able to bump that far enough to sit 2. It's very difficult.
90.
The scoreboard dictates the challenge.
We do know it curls here. We've seen rocks almost over curl, even with the extra weight.
Where? Wait only.
No.
No.
Nothing.
Starting to go, but. Hard, yeah! Hard!
bumps it back and actually spills a little more into the open. And
This took a long time.
can you get to the face of this and push this through?
Yeah, I think so, Vic. It's again not simple. We're right behind the sheets. You can only see a small 3/4 of this, so cannot hit it on the high side. You'd almost be better to be light here. Let Andrew have a tough shot for 2 than to miss it high sided. If you ever hit the yellow onto the red, it would be a shot at 3. I think it's there. Same shot Andrea threw, really.
That is a little tricky, though. You also don't want to overcurl and hit the guard. And if you ever opened up the other red stone, it would also be disaster. So you have to be very precise here.
And the guard, they're coming around. They put it there themselves.
Yep. No. Yep. Hurry. Yep. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, right off. 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 Come on, baby. Right off. Go, Janae. Go, Janae. No, 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 no.
And right on the nose.
Beautiful shot.
Very nice control of the weight with the Saskatchewan team. She seems to have a very good feel for the ice.
Yeah, that was the type of one under pressure. You know, your first time skipping here, you could easily overthrow that and give up a 3.
Beauty throw.
Doubles there, but you have to keep that shooter. Can't throw it too hard, I don't think. To stay in the 8-foot. Andrea's out turn runs incredibly straight. Lots of rotation.
10, sorry, if that's what you're asking.
Can she hit this right on the nose, or does she need a little bit of a roll here?
A little high side, Vic, so you can't throw too hard because you have to control that shooter. Maybe an inch off center, and you're definitely going to roll to the right side of the sheet.
Final stone here in 9, down by 4.
No.
Andrea Crawford.
Big rotation's going to keep this straight. This could be trouble.
Nothing at all from Parsons or Sola. Nothing at all. And there's the jam, the spill off. And it'll be one more for Saskatchewan. Sitting at the back of the 4. The mitts are coming off. Make it 3 in a row for Jill Shumay. 10-5 the final. As New Brunswick falls to 1-2. And now let's go over quickly to Prince Edward Island Team Canada. Suzanne Burt out of the Charlottetown Curling Complex, playing Heather Nedwin from the Saville Sports Centre, the defending Canadian champions, down by a couple.
Trying to make the double, Vic. If she makes the double, might be for the win.
And move it far enough. No. So just the 1 edge of the 4 for PEI. Team Canada will pick up a 3rd straight win. And PEI falls to 0-3.